Welcome to the Grappling Grappling Rewind Podcast.
Welcome to this week on the Grappling Rewind Podcast. On this week's show, we are going to recap Main Character Jiu Jitsu 9 with a whole host of title fights. We are going to recap Brasileiros next week because I would much rather talk about paid title fights than Brasileiros.
That makes sense.
Because Brasileiros is always a very difficult event to cover. So give me the extra week. We'll talk about Main Character this week and then move on to it. So big news.
Or not.
Or not. It's read the internet if you want news. We don't do as much news anymore.
The news in jiu-jitsu recently has not been good.
It's never good news.
It's never good news. It's always like
just downer news about a guy that's a coach doing stuff he's not supposed to be doing. If you want to know more about it, read the internet.
Didn't somebody pop too?
We had a bunch of guys pop. That's always fun news.
Yeah.
Elder Cruz is now the champion. I think Roosevelt Souza popped. Who
Yeah.
else popped? Canuto.
Yeah.
Canuto popped in MMA.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting. Which is really funny.
And the thing about popping in MMA is they only check for like illegal drugs. He popped for like basically like another form of Adderall or like an amphetamine.
Yeah. Which is like you gotta disclose that, man.
Yeah. But I mean,
honest, but
it's not even like it's a complicated test.
It was a tough enough fight, right?
Yeah.
Or one of those fights?
Yeah, tough enough.
It was one of his early pro fights.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
I'm curious how that will impact him being on UFC BJJ because I don't think
They're not testing
they're
anybody.
not testing.
But I think there was something about them maybe testing in the future. I don't remember. I don't know. I don't know if they're just trying to appease certain people by saying that out loud or
They
what.
did it before they sold, but who knows?
Yeah.
So we have some new world champions. We'll get the list together eventually when we talk about Worlds coming up in like 2 weeks or something like that. Because Worlds is really coming down the pipe.
Yeah, it
in
is.
late May. It's late May this year. I always think it's
It's not in June?
Yeah, it's like I'm in Japan during Worlds this year.
Oh.
So like the start of May 28th, like Rachel and I are in Japan, and so.
My kid graduates from high school during that time, so.
Well, so big old time. So yeah, I've realized that of all the shows that are going to get bumped by the Japan trip, Worlds is going to get bumped this year, which is like, yeah, that's not great. So that's it for news, Miranda. Any other news you got?
No.
All right, let's run through. Where do you want to start for Main Character? We had a bunch of title fights. What was the most fun title fight you want to run through?
I liked, well, for different reasons. It depends. I liked the Gianni Grippo match.
Let's talk about the Gianni Grippo match.
Just because I think at times it looked like Gianni Grippo was going to rip Reese LaFever's arm off.
Dude,
he had a look on his face that I was like, oh, that's the look of I'm going to rip your shit off.
Yeah. This is the best that Gianni has ever looked. He's coming off of this trials win. First time he's ever won trials. Gianni, and more of the Gianni glaze. Gianni is 15 years really into his professional career. He's been on the circuit since he was a kid. He's been a black belt he's going on fourth stripe in a year. Like a long time. He's been always like in the mix of like second place, third place.
Yeah.
And all of these, like one of the longest sustained runs at 145 and 155 of all time.
But
just been in the mix.
But if you were at any kind of like a local, like a New York Open IBJJF or anything that was New York local, and you ran into Gianni Grippo, he was fucking you up.
Yeah, you would win.
Yeah.
And so we've always kind of wondered, like, was Grippo, he's 34 now, he's, as everyone puts it, like the geriatric of the division. And I'm like, hey, man, I don't appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't appreciate that either.
He looks the best he's ever looked. And his game has come together in a way that is just, it's the game we always knew he could play. It's the way that we always knew he could look like this. He finally looks like this. He looked amazing versus Reese LaFever.
Yeah.
Reese LaFever. Just really from bell to bell. Reese is sort of what Johnny was 15 years ago. He's up and comer. He's good. He's very well touted. He's out of Kingsway. Gianni played his A game pretty much the entire time. He pulled early. He would get into the legs underneath. He would sweep. He would come up. Reese would try to counter with a leg lock. Johnny would pass out. He would turn. He would push the leg. And Johnny basically, in his post-fight interview, which is a pretty good interview, you should listen to it, he talks about, the interviewer goes, hey, were you concerned about the outside Ashi?
Yeah.
And Gianni basically goes, no, not really. Like, that's where I know he's very good at it, and it's where I do some of my best, like, passing work, essentially. And that was on display. Johnny getting out. Reese did an amazing job of really preventing Johnny from passing in the overtime, significantly.
His first name's actually Jason. It's Jason Reese LaFever.
Reese LaFever.
That's on his IBJJF.
That's
Because
funny.
you find out everybody's real government name through IBJJF.
It's so funny.
No, I was getting in my brain. I had him confused with someone else that was from Canada, and I don't know why. Because LaFever doesn't sound French at all, but for whatever reason,
He's not. We looked him up. He's American.
my brain.
He's American.
What?
He's American.
I know, but my brain went into like,
The French Canadian LaFever.
yeah, like, and I don't know who it did, but I was like thinking he was like
I
French
did
Canadian.
all last week, by the way, in the preview.
What?
I couldn't figure out who I thought he was, and Adam and I were trying to preview it, and I just couldn't get there.
Yeah.
Or Josh and I were trying to preview it, and I couldn't get there.
Yeah, it's something. But anyway.
So the big moments in the match that I want to run through is that like Gianni looks the best that he's ever looked, and Reese again is a guy that is up and coming, and it's a guy that Gianni should be able to beat. Again, Reese didn't make the finals at West Coast Trials. Gianni won the whole thing. Like there's a level difference here, but Reese is a guy that next trial cycle could absolutely be in that mix and be on the podium there.
Yeah.
And so to couple that against how good Gianni looked, like just no mistakes.
But also Reese's his escapes from positions.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about that.
Totally legit.
And Gianni gave him props at the end. Because the interview was like, were you surprised that he got out of the back triangle?
Yeah.
And then Gianni was like, no. And you could tell it wasn't like a posture. It was just like an honestly like, no, I wasn't really surprised. Like these guys are, and he gave props to like the Kingsway team essentially that was, these guys are amazing. They have some of the best defensive responses in the sport. I knew he would be tough to hold and put away. I was impressed with Reese's like wherewithal in that spot. Just like it reminded me, for some reason, this reminded me of Gary Tonin.
Okay.
In the way that sort of Tonin defends, where a lot of guys that get right up against the elite level, you'll see them when they're in subs, they'll stop fighting and just statically push against you and try to fight off something and like push out of something. The elite guys that are like submission, like escape artists, like Grippo. Sorry, not Grippo. Like Gary Tonin.
Yeah.
They're always moving. Like J-Rod. J-Rod is never fighting a sub when he's static. He is always moving. He's always making it out. He's always doing it. And if you look at guys in leg locks or arm bars or even like chokes that are consistently getting out, you're like, how did they get out of that? It's because they are consistently moving. Reese is pretty consistently, never just like fighting static for static. The minute Gianni he has a forearm grip underneath of Reese's hand over hand grip from the back of the body triangle. Yeah. Or the back of the not body triangle, reverse triangle from the mount or from the back mount. And Grippo is doing the textbook like under their arm to lift against so that you can yank and you can get the top side Americana behind their head on the back. Yeah. And he misses a grip very like immediately, and as he's missing that grip, Reese is pulling it back in and turning and getting out. And then Johnny goes, okay, I've lost this opportunity for this Americana. I have to go for the armbar, switches to the armbar, gets it. And then immediately, before Gianni has even finished throwing the leg over, Reese is pushing, getting the thumb up, getting the turn, making the turn, and gets out of the whole position. Yeah. And he got to the point where he almost had to eat the armbar, but Gianni is in the process of adjusting. And the face you said makes this face as he goes to bang the armbar down over the hip.
There's a face that he makes where I'm like, oh, he's going to kill him.
Yeah. Yeah. And he makes it when he breaks the grip initially on the Americana and when he pushes the hip to the side there. And it happens like both of those, and you just see like, oh, Reese is just still in this. Like he's not, oh, you got me, and like willing. He's willing to make that turn late stage to get out and pull out. And it ends again a very dominant performance win for Victor on the judges, 0-0 at the end.
Oh, you said Victor, and you mean the person that wins Victor, not his name is Victor.
No, Victor.
I was like, huh, Victor wins, and I was like, no, Gianni wins. Okay, yeah, Gianni. It was a very good display of all the things that Gianni does well.
Yeah, man, I'm really, really curious. I'm really curious how he lines up. Is like there's 4 guys that I care to see against Dorian Oliveras at ADCC. If Grippo looks like this, I'm curious to see how he looks. I think it's a bad style matchup, but I'm curious. Yeah. Owen Jones with the way that he plays the guard versus Dorian. Okay. I'm really curious. And Pato. Okay. Those are the 3 guys. Baby Shark, it's a neat as the champion, but I think the way they lines up is like it's a little less forgiving for Baby Shark, especially with all the turmoil in that camp recently.
Yeah.
That we didn't talk about in the news. But this is the Grippo that we have always expected to see.
Yeah.
And we are finally seeing it, and it's just like he's just as good as he's ever looked, man.
Yeah, his passing, he does like a split squat pass that almost looks like it sucks to be in number one.
It almost looks accidental with how smooth it is.
Yeah.
Because he gets there, and then you go to counter, and you can already tell that he's like 4 steps ahead of any counter that you're going to do, and you're left almost like chasing him and like barely recomposing a guard.
And it shows something to Reese that he didn't get stuck with a head and arm triangle, because generally like from that split squat, he like feeds you into a head and arm triangle, and then that's how he finishes you.
Yeah.
I've seen him do it a million times.
We've seen him do it for a huge piece of his career. Like that's how he finishes a lot of guys.
Yeah. But if you want to teach students, because I feel like one thing that some students don't get or understand is that sometimes when you're sitting to guard, some people want to play guard, but some people want to immediately sweep off the guard, which I think in some situations is a better, game plan. The way he pulls and immediately sweeps people is wild. And he does it with like a reckless abandon that no one can really beat.
Yeah. He's into what he wants immediately.
Yeah.
I had this conversation with a student literally last night. I was like, be into a guard you want to play and then be doing the thing you want to do in that guard. Don't wait to set it up and wait for your passer to set up.
Yeah.
You set the guard up on your own terms and then immediately throw them into the things that you want to be doing and don't give them the opportunity to set up. And that's what Grippo does so well a couple of times here.
Yeah.
He's in the guard for not a huge amount of time, and then he's just sort of gunning down for a leg, and Grippo is just getting up to the top on it, and then working off of like, I took the sweep. It is very funny to see like all of the IBJJF years come into play of like, oh yeah, this just looks like solid jiu-jitsu where you're coming up when you're supposed to come up and then fighting from the top like you're supposed to. So incredible match. I can't wait to see more of Gianni Grippo, man. He's just been incredible. Let's talk about, do you have one you want to talk about next?
No, we can go to the one on the screen because that was my next one. That was my other fun match that I enjoyed watching too.
Let's talk about Cade Sistos versus Josh Cisneros. This was, that title was the 45-pound title, right? What was it? Featherweight title?
55, lightweight.
Okay, that's why I switched them. So Cisneros versus Sistos, Cade versus Josh was the 70, was welterweight.
Oh, okay.
Because I missed. I keep moving them at the wrong weight class, and I know we previewed it, but I flipped them. So if I say the wrong title, just be aware that it's totally a me problem. And if you think, maybe it's this title, I have the wrong weights because again we're in ADCC like time period, so a lot of guys that are making the ADCC don't want to cut making the ADCC. That are going to ADCC don't want to be doing huge cuts in the lead up. Like this close to ADCC for like your big tournament every 2 years. You've made it in. I don't want to mess up my preparation. I'm going to get paid and have professional matches, but I'm not going to mess up my camp. And Marlon talked about it. Like it'll be his last big cut before ADCC.
Yeah, which makes sense.
So Cade Sistos versus Josh Cisneros. This kind of went we previewed it last week. It was...
Well, I didn't preview it. You previewed it.
I previewed it. Josh Cisneros looking amazing. And Cade...
Yeah, no, go.
Cade had, I think, 2 really good entries into the legs that I was surprised at. And then I was, like, curious watching Josh. I was like, okay, that leg is all wrapped up. And on the post-fight, he's like, it's blown. It's all torn. I was really curious if Cade would be able to capitalize and get into the leg. He gets into the legs 2 times. He gets really good bites. And Josh looks unbothered both times. And they're decent bites. The first bite that he has down, Cade gets to like a nice heel hook, and Josh sort of turns, makes the angle, almost turns into a knee bar. Josh just clears the knee enough and then techs out and just gets out. Yeah. And then the second one was a really nice entry that we're seeing more and more guys do proactively, which was Cade in the top of Z-Shield and then jumping over his inside knee, inside to the hip and falling back. It is an entry we're seeing a lot of people play a lot more often than we ever have before. It sort of came to prominence a few years ago and then fell out of favor. Yeah. And we're seeing the guys that got good at it continue to use it. It was a really good entry that Josh had to fight through.
It's also something that at like an IBJJF level, you put points on yourself. So like
So you see it really in only ADCC and pro matches.
you only see it in matches that don't have like, well, ADCC you wouldn't get screwed
that's what
by
I mean.
it because but like a store
In almost any other points match,
Yeah.
you're going to lose because you're going to end up on the bottom. And they're
yeah,
gonna come up
because
and
they're
peck up
all
on
they
you.
have to do is like pull their butt off the mat, and they consider
They got to fight through and stand on the foot you've attacked.
Yeah.
But they know they can do that. They get points for it.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's almost a drilled response. But because Cade knows here there are no points in the section that he did this in, he guns for it. He gets really deep in it, and then Josh just has very good defense, clears the knee. Josh is just very diligent about consistently clearing the knee. But what I like is that he doesn't aggressively like yank the leg all the way out and overextend.
Yeah.
Like he will pull to that weird middle ground where it's like a guy can't re-drag your leg, but also you're free.
Yeah.
Where it's like I'm far enough out where it's like you kind of want to re-drag.
Where I wonder if you did like a trend lock from there, if you could still get the ankle lock from like that, because you would have to be below the knee, so he would escape his knee, and then you would just lock it. Yeah.
I'm really curious if we're going to see that sort of come prominence with defenses like this, but this was.
I mean, you might not. I don't know.
There was like an open question for like, is it available there?
Yeah.
I don't know either. This is Josh just putting up points on the board.
Good
passing.
His ability to jump triangles.
Dude.
Like, so
twice in this match.
The first one, it was Cade on Josh's leg on a single, and Josh just threw up a triangle.
This reminded me of purple belt Josh Cisneros when he won Submission of the Year, I think in 2017 at Fight to Win for his jumping teepee choke. This reminded me of that. I was like, oh yeah, he's bigger now. He's older. He never really lost that.
No, that's kind of, I think, stuck in you.
Dude, credit to Cade though, man. He immediately gets his posture up. He pressures like.
The second one was wild because the second one was like a failed shot, and he just like jumped it after a failed shot instead of like reshooting like you would normally do, which was wild.
Yeah, you don't.
Because then he like picked him up in the air. And Josh.
I think that was the first one. The first one.
The first one he picked him up. Because he just picked him up at one point, and I was like, oh, dude can just pick him up like that.
And then everyone's screaming, no slam, no slam. And the commentator's like, everyone's screaming, no slam. This is not ADCC.
Yeah.
And I just laughed. I went, there's always a chance it happens. Was really impressed with Cade's defensive responses there, never letting Josh break the posture down again, never getting the arm across.
Cade trains with Wagner and those fellas, so I'm sure...
So he's never not been allowed to slam in his entire life.
Yeah. But I'm sure he's dealt with a lot of getting beat up a lot.
Guys that are very, very used to heavy posture down control, and so it's like staying very diligent with keeping the posture up. It was very, very good defense, and a lot of lesser guys, man, would have immediately gotten like crushed down by Cisneros there, and like, or just not been as diligent long enough, and opened up an opportunity for Cisneros to either go for the arm or go and posture the head down into the triangle. Because I was impressed with the diligence that Cisneros had here, because most guys just can't be that diligent versus Cisneros.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to want to shuck him off, and Cisneros kind of just sat there and went, okay, I'm in a good spot. I need to wait for my opportunity, and Josh is going to throw stuff up at me.
Yeah.
But when the opportunity comes, then I will escape. And it was just, it speaks to the level that Cade Cisneros is at, to know to like wait for the opportunity and kind of fend off what Cisneros is doing, but just stay diligent with that nice posture control, and then get it done.
Probably solid coaching and planning for someone who's going to behave like that. Mm-hmm. Because who else do you need?
I'm still looking for. Looking for. This was.
It went to 8-0.
Yeah, it was points. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I'm gonna get the. I was making sure this wasn't a sub win, because I thought it was a points win, a very dominant victory. Cisneros here, just like
this was
in scores.
Yeah, Josh gets a takedown in OT and then just passes and then remember
mounts.
He
mounts too.
Yeah,
I didn't really understand the points were funny here, because the points would go up on the board really slowly.
Yeah,
and I was like very.
I think
confused.
it was 2 for a takedown. I think for this one it was 2 for a takedown, and then I think it was 3.
It was like ADCC scoring.
Yeah.
Essentially. Okay. That's what I thought it was.
Well,
but
sort of, but it was 3 for like the passed amount, which I was trying to figure out, did he get passing points or did he get mount points?
So usually mount, you're not going to, because ADCC you don't combination score.
Okay.
So that would make sense. That's what I thought happened, because there was a couple
Yeah.
times where I went, okay, we're using ADCC points here because they've used them before.
Yeah.
We're in overtime, but they were slow to go up on the board, which again makes sense because ADCC you have judges that will talk before they go up. But I was just like, I got confused as a viewer because even commentators sometimes would be talking while points were going up, and they would give us a different point value, and I was like, something's funny here. But again, very, very clear win for Cisneros on points here, 8-0. Impressive. Again, I didn't think that Cade would get the entries off that he got on Josh. And to be able to get entries off on a guy like Josh was impressive. But again, inevitably at the end, Josh is just super, super high level and is able to win the match very cleanly on points. What's the next one you want to run through?
Let's go Francisco Lowe versus Logan. Well, do you want to stay with are we staying with matches?
That's really what's quick. Let's talk about Francisco Lowe.
Francisco Lowe versus Logan Smith. We haven't seen Francisco Lowe for a bit.
He popped.
And
now we see him here. Very, very quick win. He gets a winner here over Josh.
No, Logan Smith.
A really interesting finish. He goes through, he gets down, he passes, and then immediately goes for a head and arm. And then as he's like going for the finish on the head and arm, it looks like Logan Smith's like ribs separates from a higher rib, which is like, to put that much pressure on someone in that spot is why it kind of speaks to how strong Francisco Lowe probably is there, because you see him, like I watched it, I was like, what happened there? Because initially they're like, oh, it's a head and arm, because a lot of those are happening on the card so far.
But that was it. But it looked like you grabbed his rib cage. Either that or
immediately he goes,
Either that or like pec.
Yeah, something was like, it wasn't an arm triangle finish there. It was like, again, Lowe was going for the arm triangle.
Yeah.
But really quick finish injury, which is unfortunate. Hope he comes back soon. But it was, again, very dominant from Francisco Lowe.
Yep.
All right. Anything else on that?
Nope.
Next one.
We had Kennedy Franklin versus Helena Cravar.
Damn, Cravar looked good.
Yeah.
And this is unfortunately kind of, not unfortunately, but like what we expected given the mismatch. Like Franklin is very good. We talked about her credentials last week. Her best win is third place at Nogi Worlds as a black belt. She has world medals, gold medals at purple and brown in Nogi and IBJJF, but at black she's been able to get third, which is good.
Yeah.
Cravar is I would argue, depending on the day, the best woman in the world.
Yeah.
In Nogi.
Kennedy at one point does this like really weird, not really weird, but she like sweeps but like rolls over the top.
Yeah. She did like a nice reversal at one point.
Is that what
Cravar?
I think that was what I guess it is a reversal because there's no legs.
Because she was already past the guard there.
Yeah, and there were no legs involved, so it's not a sweep at that point. But it was like there was some crazy athleticism as she just kind of like rolled over the top, and I was like, "Huh, I didn't know you could do that."
Cravar immediately counters, and I was like, "Oh, I thought the sequence was going to get more interesting."
Yeah.
With Cravar having to fight at the bottom, Cravar diligent immediately gets back to the guard, but I was like, "Huh, that was a really interesting transition to happen." Like she caught Cravar coming in at the right time on that cross side control position, and just kind of flipped her, and it looked like Cravar kind of like got cagey between two things that she wanted and just sort of got caught in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And it was good. And then Cravar very quickly there gets to the back.
Yep.
Gets to a triangle from the back.
Yeah.
Which is, again, we've seen a couple of these now with Gianni. And actually this match was earlier in the card. But we watched the finish a couple of times here.
Yeah.
It looks like what did you see Cravar finish
She
here?
grabs her shoulder. After the match. When you look at it, it doesn't look like it's an armbar because her arm doesn't fully extend, right?
Yeah.
Her hands are still together. Like she's still
They're still S-wrist clap.
Yeah.
Clasp.
Now she isn't over the leg like a Barada Plata or Tarika Plata.
Yeah, or like an arm crush or like any sort of slicer.
She would have to be like over the forearm of that. And she wasn't like that. So when I went to Cravar's page, Cravar said very complicated in Japanese that I don't remember. That
Uno no Gage Sankaku or what
that it is a Kimura from the back triangle. That is my translation.
That's what,
So that's my assumption.
My guess is that she just got the angle on the Kimura when she still had the grip together, which you can do.
Yeah.
And in that position, it's not like
and
you will tap people.
And the thing is, you're putting a lot of pressure on the shoulder blade down. So I mean,
especially if you have heavy pressure behind it as well. Like again, it was a very nice finish. It looked like she grabbed her wrist for a second, and I was like, okay, I couldn't really exactly figure out what had been finished because it didn't look like the choke was all the way in, and it looked like Cravar was aggressively attacking the arm.
It could just be like that much pressure on your shoulder, then you start tweaking your arm, and you're just done.
And that's what it looked like. It just looked like amazing control from Cravar. She gets there, and then she kind of guns that. And Cravar is very strong. She is the title holder at 55.
And 45.
And 45. Didn't have an immediate person that she wanted to face there, but I like seeing Cravar's game. I like that we're seeing her now at elite level black belt having more submissions.
Yeah.
Because that was kind of one thing we didn't know if she was going to ever kind of get over that hump as she went to like the purple and brown belt. And now she's like, yep, you can sub the best woman in the world. And it's not. I'm just very curious. Like her list of people that she can have matches with is very, very small. And I just don't know really who you'd match her up with, or if you like maybe push her to 170. Like it's just she's in this weird kind of unfortunate slot where
she's a little too big for like Mo Black.
And even like Fionn.
Yeah, even like Fionn or Amanda Bruse. All of them are 135. She's not making 35.
You've also just had your matches against Sarah.
Yeah.
So it's like we just kind of saw how that match went, and it was like, okay, I don't really need to see more of that. So she's in this weird spot. But again, then you could have her against women like Amanda Lev, but it's like Lev's much bigger than her, or like Mitrovic, but Mitrovic's much bigger than her. It's like she sits in this weird slot where I think you probably have to bring her into women at plus 65, and then it's like, well, that's kind of not the weight class that you sit at anyway, but you've kind of beaten most of the women at under 65.
Yeah.
So she's been dominant. This is sort of a problem you have with dominant champs is like, well, where do you take them next? So speaking of champs, you have anything else on this one?
Nope.
So that was the 155 title for the women. This next one this is 35?
135.
This is a rematch, Amanda Bruse versus Jasmine Rocha. Jasmine Rocha, we talked about her last match on the preview we did last week.
Okay.
In their first match, Amanda Bruse is still purple belt, or not first match, in their most recent match.
Yeah.
Bruse is still brown belt. And it's a who's number one match. Bruse looks good.
Yeah.
Bell to bell, she's kind of beating up Jasmine in a really similar way to this match.
Yeah.
And then Jasmine, late in the match, gets the finish. This is the alternate reality if Jasmine doesn't get that finish.
Yeah.
And then Amanda Bruse continues to have improve.
Yeah.
And then really troubles Jasmine's guard. It was just incredible knee cut passing.
It
really.
was.
It's like we've seen Rocha a couple of times, most notably with Fionn Davies and with Amanda Bruse, have real problems with elite level knee cut passers.
Yeah, and Amanda also does a lot of side by side, so she's not just coming in like one direction at you. She's trying to see what angle she can kind of get on you.
And eventually she finds that angle most of the time and is able to get through. Jasmine didn't really look worried.
No, she didn't look worried at all, but at the same time, she comes across as the type of personality that isn't going to...
Jasmine's never going to be worried. And it was sort of not unfortunate, but it was... Jasmine's in bad spots, kind of smiling, looking... I was like, man, I really need you to kind of get back to a better spot here.
Yeah.
And Amanda Bruse just was diligent the entire time, is absolutely jacked, which I didn't realize until you showed me, like...
Yeah, on her Instagram, her picture, and I was like, damn, that's some...
She has, like, the most washboard abs of any woman in the sport.
I don't even know how you do that. I don't know what that is.
But it for me, that kind of went like, okay, that explains why you can just absolutely crush through someone's guard at 135 if you have like that physique. Because okay, you're a professional athlete physique.
But she hits like that. She hits a sweep. I'm trying to think. It was a pendulum sweep, like straight into an armbar at the end. And I was like, oh, that's
I thought that Jasmine was going to get out of this triangle armbar variation, but the way that she gets off and turns the angle. I thought, I was like, okay, Jasmine's going to overstack here. She's going to pop that shoulder out, and then she's going to get done. Bruse tacks down, lifts under, comes up, and just does the classic pendulum off of this, off of the fall off the back.
Yeah.
And she gets the leg over, and then I was like, okay, is Rocha going to be able to turn? And then Bruse gets it, and it is very, very clean. Yeah. The pummel was great. It was really just like, it looked like their first match if Jasmine didn't have the come from behind win at the end. That's really what it looked like.
And this was what's it called? An interim bantamweight fight because Mo Black is the reigning champion.
I can't wait to see this one.
Yeah.
Like, I'm super excited for this match. I think it's a rematch as well. I think
I'm sure
Amanda
that-
said they were 1-1 or something.
Yeah,
She didn't
yeah,
really
yeah,
remember
yeah.
the exact numbers, but I am jazzed for that rematch. I'm really excited for the style matchup. But this is Amanda just looked incredible here. Again, she looked really good in the last match versus Rocha. Like she seemed to have a good game plan for how she wants to deal with Jasmine Rocha.
Yeah.
And I do not know. Like Rocha will need to change her game in order to beat Amanda.
I also
Bruse.
feel like she's not afraid of Jasmine Rocha.
Yeah, we talked about that. It kind of reminds me of like the guys that do well against Andy Varela.
Yeah.
It's like if Andy Varela can like cow you into being worried about what he's going to do to you, he will demolish you. Like you almost universally, like if he can get you worried about the game that he's bringing to the table, he's going to demolish you. Jasmine, I think, is really similar in that reign where it's like if you're worried about what Jasmine Rocha is going to do to you, she's going to do it to you and like make it a massive problem for your life.
Well, and she's
like
probably
put you away.
talking shit to you like her father the whole time too. You know,
Similar to brother.
Yeah.
we'll talk about the Achilles match here in a minute. But it was this was I was very curious if Amanda Bruse was going to be able to replicate the Who's Number One performance, and she did, and then more so, and then made it even more dominant. She makes at one point a beautiful crossover to mount from side control, super low hip, and just slides right over. She times it perfectly. Jasmine never even looks at recomposing a half guard from it. While Amanda Bruse, the entire time also, Bruse does a really good job. I don't want to go back and actually watch what she's doing here. She keeps Jasmine's arms above her head in the passing.
Yeah, she like collects them with her arm that's closest to her head.
In like for like a length of time that I was really impressed because even at one point Jasmine, you can see her like opening and closing, like getting the blood back into her hand because her hand has been above her head trying to stop the passing for so long. And I went, wow, that's really impressive that you can like for a length of time, a protracted kind of way, keep her there. And then so when you go to slide over and a mount like that, you're uncontested because they are so flat. They're kind of trying to drive up to get their shoulders down.
Yeah.
They're not really worried about getting the half guard back because they're just trying to get their arms back. Like it was, again, Amanda Bruse was really impressive. I really hope that we see her at ADCC.
Yep.
I really hope we see her. So
we'll go to Achilles Rocha
let's talk about the brother. Let's talk about
versus
Achilles
Sebastian Attard.
Attard has one thing that he wants in this match, and it's what he wants in every match. He needs the legs. He wants the legs. Holy shit, Achilles got way better.
Yeah.
We saw it at trials.
He got a bunch of size on him too.
He did, dude.
Yeah.
I saw him at trials, at East Coast trials, and he won, and I was like, ooh, he is a problem now. Like he has very, very good technique, and he is a massive problem for a lot of guys. And that was the case here with Sebastian Attard. Attard had a couple of good entries. The most notable one for me was Achilles' pass. Achilles' passing also got really good. He's nice head and passing. He can combination like double underpass in a really good way. Attard gets out of the side control and threads over into a single X.
Yeah.
And then Achilles immediately goes, okay. And like there's no immediate sub. Achilles kind of like pumps through, he rolls under, gets the top again, puts the foot down, and then immediately makes a big overstep of the guard and just goes head in the chest and passes. And I went, ooh, 3 years ago, that sequence would have looked very different for you.
It would have.
And now that was just like an unconcerned leg lock.
And it's more technical than it was.
Yeah, it was clean.
Yeah.
Like he did it unconcerned and then just passed.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a problem versus a guy that only wants your leg, that currently has your leg, and just went, okay, clear the knee, step back, pass. It reminded me a lot of, honestly, like how Gordon passes a lot of guys that try to leg lock him, where he just doesn't look concerned. He's just over top. Like he just knows he's going to make the right decisions.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yep, I'm just doing the thing and I'm already a step ahead of you. Even though you have the entry, I'm going to counter you for it and then pass. And it was just like very, very impressive. And Attard had some neat stuff. Attard at one point goes to reverse donkey guard, and Achilles cups him down.
Yeah.
At one point is the best way to put that.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to put it. Uses his hips.
Uses his hips in a highlight reel way.
Yeah.
And then eventually towards the end of the match, Achilles just kind of turns on the gas and just continues. What finish was this?
This was the toe hold. This was the counter.
Oh, this was this toe hold.
This is the counter toe hold.
Attard makes a really good entry.
Yeah.
And
he's got the leg.
And it's not even it's a good heel hook too.
Well, we also know that we're pretty sure that Achilles isn't going to tap to shit.
Dude, he for like 3 years, he would use a roll of tape per foot. And then there can't be a ligament left now.
Yeah.
And Atard is in this foot, and I was like, okay, this is going to be kind of dangerous. And Achilles is like kind of looking at it.
Yeah.
And like defending a little bit. And then you see him with his low side hand. Like already, I missed it in the first watch. He has Atard's foot. And he's kind of like fencing at the lower foot that's on the bottom of the triangle foot for the leg triangle. And you see Achilles look down at it again and goes, and he kind of almost goes like, I guess I'll go for it. And just guns for this counter to hold off the heel hook.
I'm going to go for it.
And you see Atard go, whoa, and have to tap to it.
Toe holds suck.
Yeah, man. And from the position he's in, Atard can't free his own foot. Like Atard's foot gets stuck here. And you see him like put his hand on his face like, I got my own foot stuck there while going for it. I hung my foot out too long and I know better. That's at least the expression that I saw him make was basically like, oh, I know better than to put my foot there. And like, I know to not make this mistake. But he was down. He was trying to gun for the sub. And so he had to overextend himself. And Achilles took advantage of it. But like, woo, man. Achilles is going to be a problem because he's finally turned the corner.
And Achilles was going to win that match anyway on points. So
yeah.
But this was a little bit of like icing on the cake, basically.
Yeah, made it like unquestionable.
Yeah.
that he was the better guy.
On the undercard, we also had Max Hansen versus Austin Orende.
Mm-hmm. This undercard was this not a title?
Was not a title.
Okay. Max Hansen's real good, man.
Yeah.
We talked about it. Austin wants the legs. Max Hansen seemed to be a better leg blocker.
Yeah.
He was blocking the legs. He would come to the top when he needed to. And then eventually Austin, the finishing sequence, which is what I want to talk about. Is there anything more you want to talk about here? The finishing sequence was Orende kind of goes to counter inside leg position. So basically Max has both legs on the outside and one leg is almost threaded into saddle.
Yeah.
Orende's coming down. He chucks out for the heel hook. And then Max Hansen goes, okay, I'm going to go for my own heel hook.
Yeah.
Austin does a nice job of pulling his leg forward, getting the foot in front, grabbing it. And then Max goes, okay, cool. Because you pulled one leg out of the double trouble that I have, now I'm just in saddle.
Yeah.
And then Max guns the leg down for saddle, rolls. And I was like, okay, Austin's rolling through this. He's doing well. And then towards the edge of the mat, Max Hansen just goes from the heel hook to the ankle lock and just does a belly up saddle ankle lock on the same side and gets the tap.
Yep.
We are seeing the return of the straight ankle, man. Like, we are in the middle of the straight ankle era. And this is, I think, I would not surprise me to see straight ankle lock finishes this year at ADCC.
It wouldn't.
Like, the control that it offers is really great. The finish on this was great for Max Hansen. I think he is willing to take on either Gianni Grippo or Reese LaFever. I think now the Gianni Grippo match makes more sense. He's fought both those guys twice. So I would honestly like to see that matchup. It was good. Grippo looks amazing. Max Hansen looked very, very good versus Austin here.
Yeah,
and
he did.
Yeah, I would be excited to see that match be made.
Okay.
What's the next one we got?
We got...
let's talk about the last title fight.
Okay.
We had Natasha Drugan versus Jane.
I think.
Fragoso. This was back and forth. I think this is you. So you and I actually saw this. Like, we watched it, and we had some discussion about who we thought won. I thought this was really clearly for Fragoso, but watching it again, a lot of it is how you want to score if you're using ADCC or IBJJF, if you're valuing position or you're valuing
it's also like how you're scoring leg entanglements. Is getting to a leg entanglement enough, or do you actually have to do something from said leg entanglement? Right. Because some people will let you get deep into one because
just to counter you.
Because they know it's bullshit and they can get past it. And it's hard to, as a outside personnel, they move the camera around enough that you don't get a lot of horrible shots where you're looking at somebody's ass and you can't see anything.
Which is good. We appreciate that.
Which is good. But at the same time, I don't. And maybe I wasn't watching it hard enough to know how deep her leg entanglements were to really counteract Drugan getting to her back at one point.
The crucifix entry there.
And then almost getting to her back and then getting almost past her guard the second time. And maybe it's just the way that gets scored. I don't know.
Yeah. And so I watched this and I was like, oh, this is very clearly for Fragoso.
Jane
Yeah,
Fragoso.
I can't read that, and I was
Fragoso.
struggling with her name on the broadcast.
Yeah.
Fragoso. But again, yeah, it's how do you score it? Do you score like I thought she was the one that was making the better entries?
Yeah.
And consistently putting up more offense, but she did have moments like 3 or 4 minutes of the match where she was fighting out of a triangle, she was fighting out of a crucifix, and so these matches get funny to score because again, I think the broadcast could do a little bit of a better job for exactly what the criteria is for matches like this. Because like I watched this, I was like, oh yeah, this is clearly
because
Fragoso.
Yeah,
but if in a different organization, it might not be.
But the other thing is, the way I thought about it was your overtime period is points.
Right.
So then, in my brain, at least my brain, it goes to advantages.
Right.
If you don't get points, then you go for advantages.
And Fragoso ends the match
and who would
almost passing an amount.
Then that's an advantage, and she wins. Like, that's how my brain at least took it. But
And I looked at it from like an ADCC's rules where it's like, well, she's doing more. She's having more entries. She's putting up the offense in an even match. The one who does more is going to be the winner. And so it's like, oh, very clearly she did. And so it's, again, it's one of the problems with we have so many different rule sets that you and I both watch a ton of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And we can go both have very different takeaways for a match that like really should be pretty clear.
Yeah.
If we had a more unified rule set that was like laid out a little bit, again, it'd been great in that big intermission that they had for 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Give me a criteria there. Like, 'cause I know you need sponsors there, but they had just intermission for a long time. Like, give me criteria for rules. Give me a card. Give me some other overlays there in that time. So I don't just have to tab through it.
Yeah.
But again, it was a fun match. And now Francesco is the new champion.
Fragoso.
So I'm trying to.
You said
I'm trying not
Francisco.
to sneeze right now, and I'm like doing everything I can to not try to.
Yeah,
sneeze
you're having
into the
all
mic.
kinds of nose
I'm having a
issues
problem
today.
right now.
Well, there's a Jamie Fragoso who's like a country singer. Because I kept on
doesn't help me at all.
I kept on coming up on that one, and I was like, no, that's not the person I'm looking for.
So also, I think we just have the one more match on the card. Or we have 2 more matches. We have let's talk about Nick Mataya versus Marlon Tajik.
Tajik is our European trials winner.
He just had a match versus Victor Hugo at the Crown, where Hugo only won by 3 points.
Yep.
He had a match versus. He just had a match versus someone else. I'm blanking on what it was. He just won trials as well.
Yeah. Actually, this was Marlon's first ever super fight.
Which I thought was really funny. Like they said that, and I was like, that can't be right. And then, but again, you just win trials. You finally get the opportunities to have these big super fight matchups. Like it might make sense.
I don't think he's been in the United States the entire time.
No, he's European.
Yeah. So he probably didn't even have like really a lot
Sorry,
of
I say that with a confidence that is in no way earned.
Yeah.
I have no idea where he's actually been training the majority of his time.
Stockholm.
Okay.
Yeah. Huh. But it could be possible he just has been doing IBJJFs and stuff like that. And
he looked really good. Like I kind of expected to see a little more from Nick Mataya here.
Yeah.
And I was I think this is, for me, this is telling for how good Marlon is. Like, because he sweeps, he gets to the bottom. Like, he seemed in control of a lot of this match and was really forcing Mataya to play defensive as a passer a lot of times. We know Marlon's guard's good. If you held Victor Hugo to 3 points, we know you have a good guard. But I didn't know how much of that in the Crown was Marlon kind of playing defensively and Victor Hugo not wanting to overextend versus like Marlon just has a really, really good guard. And I think it is more of like Marlon probably just has a really, really good guard because Nick really wasn't able to get a whole lot going through the guard. And Marlon was the one making the better entries. And even at the entry at the end, it was a really nice counter grip that Nick tried to step out of and step through. Marlon collects the legs together.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really figure out what he actually ended up finishing. Because it looked like it was just a regular kind of straight, like a twisting straight ankle lock. But Nick taps super, super quickly to it. And so I couldn't really put like a bead on exactly like what would have caused him to tap that quickly. Like nothing about the grip looked particularly tight or deep.
It could also be like a belly down ankle lock is one of those things that you know that your shit's about to be ripped off. Like there's certain things that if you do it to people, they kind of respond to. Nick Mataya is I mean, he's been around. I don't know. He hasn't had a ton of top level matches. He has maybe in the last year.
He's starting to get into them now.
But I don't know how many like top level ankle lock guys besides who he trains with
which is
regularly.
all of the guys at B
Yeah,
Team.
like will belly down an ankle lock on you.
Yeah.
So
it's not a super common ankle
know.
lock, but it's also like he tapped very, very quickly to it, and maybe there's a pre-existing injury or something, but I was really, really surprised because it looked like he would have had additional spin. But again, it could be just kind of speaking to the technique that Marlon has, where it's like he guns down, he grips it, and then he can finish that from that position. Like a lot of the European guys, man, they got scary ankle locks.
Yeah.
You're around Mateusz Szczynski long enough on the same continent, and you're like, maybe it's Stockholm's not the same continent, but still. Like maybe that kind of the transverse property gets that to you, where the Europeans are just
maybe
lockers.
it's just one of those weird, like every once in a while my foot will get stuck in a weird spot when somebody goes to do it, and you just like
it's gonna break. It's gonna break. Yep.
Yeah.
But again, it was impressive. Like this looked like Marlon's match for most of it, and he was able to take it, and he looked very, very good. I'm again excited to see him in ADCC representing Europe.
The last match
We had this is John Blank versus Felipe Costa.
Mm-hmm.
We previewed this as the tale of two matches. It was like this goes exactly how we thought it was going to go.
I'm just drawing an orange. Sorry.
Okay.
It's just me.
You looked over me and made a big circle, and I was like, I have no idea what this means.
No, I'm not.
Little orange Miranda.
I wasn't trying. Yeah, I wasn't.
Felipe Little Orange Costa.
I wasn't trying to give you a sign or anything. It looks like a bomb, truthfully,
it
but
does a little bit.
Yeah.
This was either Felipe Costa, Six Blades, Sanji, Lovato, Victor Hugo is going to pressure pass through his guard and not have a problem.
Stop real quick. Did you see Lovato won his wrestling tournament?
I did see that.
That was amazing. Anyway,
it is great.
Back to jiu-jitsu.
Won another wrestling tournament. Or this is going to be Thor having a guy at a range he wants to work with and inverting, getting to legs constantly, and Felipe Costa has to fight at the legs.
Triangles and all the fun guard stuff.
This was the first one.
Yeah.
This was Felipe Costa, just the same style of pass over and over, like overreaching, under the arm, under the head.
It looked like the same pass over and over again.
And it was just, he figured out what worked.
Yeah.
And he would collect John's head on the same side. He'd pull it up. He'd pull the top side shoulder in together. And then he would just drive the knee cut. He would just drive. He would flop out, and he would just be done. And he hit that pass 6 different times in the match, I think. He hit them and they're scored. There is a weird reset here where Costa is going for
and then in overtime,
Darce.
Overtime he hits it at least 3 times because there's 6 points on the board. So.
Yeah, it is just a clinic. Like, man, it is just like exactly the foil to sort of what John wants to be able to play. He just is unable to get his legs back involved in the way that he needs to start entering into his game. But again, Costa plays. I think John gets into the leg one time. Costa kind of pulls through.
Yeah.
But really, it's just Costa knowing, hey, man, you do not want this guy underneath you. You need to control him so that he can't invert. You need to get win the underhook fight, win the head hook fight, and then just that is the pass you have to be doing on him. And that's what he did.
Yep.
He never played out range. He just played exactly where he needed to and shut it down.
Yep.
And it was super impressive. Again, not a lot of guys have shut John down like this. This was really, really impressive. And it was Felipe Costa just absolutely like a very, very clean win with just kind of really the same diligent knee cut outside positioning.
Yep.
So, we have anything else we want to talk about?
Nope. That's all those matches. And that was only day 2. Like there was a whole day.
There was a whole other card. They had like a tag team matchup in the first day that we're not going to cover.
All kinds of stuff going on.
They have fun card. You've been to one of them, right?
Yeah. Yeah. They used to do them hella long, and I wonder if now they've made them shorter because, like, when I went, when I went, it started at like noon, and like the main event was like after midnight. Like it was a long, and I didn't get there until probably like.
I liked the 2-day thing. Again, I didn't get a chance to watch day 1, but I liked that the majority of the real pro event was contained in that second day. We could watch through it. It's hard to find on Flow for some reason.
Yeah,
you have to it is not on the event page in the web client. Yeah. It is only on the page in the app itself, which is weird. But if you search it, you can find. If you search it by like the date, like May 2nd or May 4th, you can find it. So like something's going on there for you to find it. Again, it's worth your time. They were neat matchups. Again, some of them were kind of sort of what you would expect for the matchups. Like, she should win, he should win, she should win. But again, they were a lot of them were also genuinely compelling. There's a lot of titles on the line. I like that Main Character brings their champions back to actually have them in interesting matches. I don't know how they're doing it financially, but they're consistently having
they're also in Austin, so it's a little easy when a lot of your guys are close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, whatever they're doing to consistently get good matches, like I like it. We're seeing more of them. I wish they would change a couple of things, but again, that's every promotion.
Yeah.
But overall, they're making high quality matches. Like, I'm super happy. I'll be super happy to cover more of them. I'm glad they're on Flow now, so we can cover them easily. It's not a weird pay-per-view event. It's just on Flow. So yeah, it was good. I wish it was a little brighter.
Yeah.
It does get a little dark in the corners, and so that's one thing I wish they would.
I think that's because
they need cameras that can do it with a little lower light then, if that's the case. But, yeah, man, overall it was fun. I enjoyed watching it. I'm excited to see all the champions come back and defend. There's some good. They seem to be doing a little less of the pro wrestling on the main card now.
Well, that's good.
Which I appreciate, where it's like actually really compelling matches, not just all these beef matches.
Yeah.
That I didn't really care as much about. These are all just like high level, fun, exciting matches. So.
Yeah.
That is it, Miranda. Anything else fun going on this week?
I'm going to Texas on Wednesday.
So no.
But yeah, 24 hours. So I don't know how long. Basically 24 hours in and out, which is always, a good time. Yeah. I also got, I got UFC 250 tickets. My
wife told me that.
I got the weird ass. I just randomly was going through online, and they were like, the tickets are free. You just have to enter a lottery to get them. And I put us in for them, and then I got 2 for both days, Saturday and Sunday. And I was like, this is kind of weird. Well, yeah, I don't know. And then I was like, I just was like, we're going to be at some nightclub in D.C. And I was like, no, Miranda, you're going to be in the South Lawn of the White House. And I'm like, oh.
Jesus. Well,
then I was like,
have fun with that.
And then I was like, fuck, once if you get blown up,
yeah.
Anyway, so
that's your fun of it. When is that card?
June 16th, I think.
Okay.
I'll
just be getting back from Japan then.
And I had to figure out. Yeah, but
logistics of that.
Anyway, that'll be interesting. My
wife and I were trying to go out to train in Japan. Like, I want to train at Imanari's place. Okay. That's like the one spot. Like, Carpe Diem would be cool. Imanari's the one spot because we're in Tokyo. We have a special day, a morning, because the classes are super early in the morning, like 6:30 in the morning, which I have no idea what time how the jet lag's gonna take care of us there. Yeah. But that's the one training I want to do. So if anyone has suggestions for other places we're gonna be in, Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka.
Isn't Igloo there? Isn't Igloo in Japan?
Iglu's there too.
Yeah, go see Kenta.
If Kenta's they do that'd be cool to go see Kenta.
Yeah,
and they get beat up by.
I don't know where Igloo is.
I can look, but that's what the other thing of my wife and I have an extra day coming back from Osaka, or come back from Kyoto that we have time to do another thing. And I'm like, if I could train 2 days out there, that would be cool.
It's in Setagaya.
Okay.
Which is Setagaya City, Tokyo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's in Tokio. Yeah. It's a suburb of Tokyo essentially.
Yeah. So
sweet. So I might book that out.
We do not accept drop-in visits. It just says it straight on
in the Instagram bio. That's crazy. Okay, well, I won't be training there.
Well,
then.
You won't be training there then.
Good to know. So that doesn't run anything else.
Yeah, I just saw on May 9th the Thug Trials is going to be Wagner Rocha versus Lovato, and rematch. Yeah.
And Kravar versus Bosher. We got Jacob Couch versus.
I don't know what that name is.
Light.
Little, maybe?
Fornarino versus Lily. We got Kelly versus...
Daniel Kelly versus Crane.
Versus
Jessica
Crane. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. So that card has changed significantly, but it is interesting.
Yeah, and that's in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay. So that's coming up.
But that's a pay-per-view. That's a more difficult card to find to watch.
Yeah.
Anyway... But, yeah, that's about it. I'm going to go to Texas and try not to get sunburned or die,
So, that's all I got, Miranda.
That's all I got, too.
As always in this show, I'm your host, Maine, host,
Miranda.
and we have the Grappling Reruns. No matter what it is, stay safe. If you like the show, please consider sharing it on Facebook with the folks at your gym. It's the best way that we grow the show, and we really appreciate it. You can reach out to us on email.
We also have Instagram. We have Facebook. We have Twitter. We have Google+.
Until that shuts down.
We have a website.
If you have an event you would like to have us cover, please let us know. If you have a name, like most people do, and you'd like to have us stop butchering it,
Let us know.
reach out to us. The show is also available on YouTube, Spotify, in addition to iTunes and every other podcast service. We very much appreciate your time, and thank you.